Good morning. The sun's up. Excuse the glasses. I know you're probably like, this guy's got glasses on the video. Um, but, it's too bright for my eyes. I wanted to pump this video out. If I turn the lights out, it's too dark. And it's just comfortable for me. Anywho, I was diagnosed with a rare genetic disease. It's kind of funny saying that at the ripe age of 46 years old, a rare genetic disease. And you could say, well, how are you just diagnosed right now? And so I think the rare genetic disease was founded somewhere like in the early 1900s by Klepophile, two, uh, two doctors that founded it. And these doctors always naming things after themselves, um, and yet it's still not a whole lot of crazy information out there, not a whole lot of crazy help out there. um, there's the Klepophile Freedom Facebook page, and then maybe a few content creators, or I don't like to call them content creators, more like awareness warriors is what I feel that they are. And they're just trying to spread awareness. Um, and I've been thinking about, doing something. I just never thought about what it was going to be. I thought, everybody around me is always saying I should start a YouTube channel about gardening, and I said, I just don't want to make it about gardening, and always thinking about ways that I can do something with gardening that can bring gardening to the world, uh, because I believe it brings healing to the human body. Um, you go back to history, and all civilizations used to worship the soil and the food and gardening, and you don't see a whole lot of that today. And I think we lost touch with that. But I got a perfect opportunity, and I was officially diagnosed 2 months ago by my second neurosurgeon. Um, I've known for a couple years, probably 5 or 6 years. Um, and I knew because, I kept having pain, and I kept more describing my pain starting in my shoulder blade. Um, and that's where it really originated from. I've always had like a no neck. It's the KFS, or Klepophile syndrome, is identified by fused vertebrae in your neck. Is one way that they can identify it outside of um, uh, DNA testing. And so, and it also affects other organs. There can be other bones fused in the body. Um, it can affect the kidneys, the heart, different body features, um, no neck, low hairline in the back. Um, I'm kind of curious if anybody has small thumbs. Everybody used to laugh at my thumbs because I have really small thumbs, and and I always thought, I said, man, I wonder if that's got to be something that's diagnosed. I bet you that's part of something that I have, and 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 I guess you can ask how come not many doctors found this. Um, a lot of it is because I grew up in the foster system. I grew up in a very abusive adopted household later on in life, and I don't have any memory of any of this. It's all documented, but my brain completely just blocks it all out. I don't have My memory starts at a certain age, and for some people it trips them out, but that's where it starts. And so when I went in to do my X-rays for my first, and it finally got a doctor that was like, "Dude, these symptoms are coming from your neck." And so I went to my first spine surgeon, and he sent me to do my X-rays and my MRIs and my CT scan. And in the my right off the bat, my X-ray technician was like in awe. She was in scientific uh, euphoria of explosion, and she couldn't just help herself from asking me 1,000 questions that I had no clue about. Um, and a lot of it is because my abusive past. I didn't go to the doctor a whole lot, and my communication with doctors is not the strongest because of that. Most kids maybe go the doctor for regular checkups, and they get this communication going where they can describe things in their body really well. And even though I know my body really well, I have a problem with describing description. And maybe that's a lobe or some kind of brain damage thing. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's hard. So my back of my head is all calcified when I go to do my X-ray. She's talking to me about that, and you can see it's like a buildup of calcification in the back of my head. And then she can see from the crania, from my actual cranium, C1, 2, partial C3 is fused. And then there's a big hole through the bone in C1 that goes direct, like even, that goes directly through the bone. And she was showing me it all too, so it tripped me out. I'm kind of glad that she did, because I'm just glad she did. But at the same time, I was a little in shock too. Um, but I get it, especially when you got a scientific brain. I have a scientific brain, just not AMP, not medical human. I'm more plants, botany, entomology, wildlife, especially the Great Basin. I'm all into those things, especially ethnobotany, Native American ethnobotany. Um, so I get back to my surgeon, and there's two surgeons that looked at me at the same place, and I should have went to a whole different place. What a numbskull I am, but that's cool. So the younger surgeon wanted to do 2 levels, and the other surgeon only wanted to do 1 level. Today, I don't know who's right, um, but there was a conflict, and because of ageism, I went with the older doctor, and the younger doctor had better uh, bedside manners. And everybody loved him there. He's no longer there, and I don't know why, which kind of is weird. My spine surgeon that worked on me, uh, there were some behavioral health things going on. I mean, he's well established in the area. Either that, or some kind of, I don't know, something going on there. Everybody said he did a fusion on my neck, C4, 5, or 5 and 6. I have a little bit of cognitive decline, so I forget sometimes. And so he did that level, and my some symptoms got better, but not a whole lot. But I told him, I said, "Man, I think I got Kleppel-Feil syndrome," and he dismissed it. And you know, I did more googling, and joined the Kleppel-Feil Freedom website, and kind of experienced what other people were going through, what their symptoms were, what their anatomies, kind of their deformities of their anatomies, to get a general idea of what I thought I had. Because I checked off already the no neck and the low back hairline and all the other symptoms, the constant pain. Um, and so I went to my second neurosurgeon and I explained to him um, that actually, no, I went to a second person at a facility called Rock, and he said that he thought I should go see somebody about, because I'm always having shooting pain down my arms, right? And it could be burning, it could be sharp pain. I mean, all sorts of different pain, all sorts of different levels, um, and it's all 24/7, right now. Pain in the neck. Um, it's So I went to go see the arm guy, and they did nerve tests and said I had um, I forgot. There's a nerve right here in the elbow, the ulnar nerve I believe that is what it's called, and they broke away the burn and did a ulnar nerve transplant, or removed it and then put it somewhere else, and then they did the carpal tunnel. They wanted to do both arms, and I said no. I said we do one arm. I see how it feels, because I wasn't having a whole lot of symptoms like people with carpal tunnel and the other symptoms. And so I had that surgery on just the right arm, and I'm in pain now. I have other pain that I've never had. Pain, especially in the ulnar nerve area, that never goes away. And I don't know who to say anything about anything to, anymore, because not all doctors are perfect. Not all surgeons are perfect, and especially that surgeon, I feel like I got a bum rap. I feel like the first surgeon that did my spine, he did a good job. Everybody, placement well, hardware looks good. I have no complaints other than his behavior was just not friendly. And so I had that surgery, and then after that surgery, I just got tired of going to doctors, feeling like a rotating door of payments, nobody giving me any real answers, nobody really looking into this. People saying I'm just self-diagnosing, and so I went to go see somebody I've been wanting to see for a while, and I finally got in to see him, and I said, I think I have Kleppel-Feil syndrome. This is what I'm working with. I did mention to the first surgeon. He kind of dismissed it. I don't want to feel like I'm being dismissed. Just look, please. And so went to get my CT scan a couple months ago, and right on there it says, starts listing again all my deformities, and even this, I don't know, what do you call this CT doctor? I mean, that wouldn't be considered a radiologist still, would it? But anyways, it says on there Kleppel-Feil syndrome. And then it also affects other things, the heart, the kidneys, other parts may be fused together in your body. I consistently have pain going down my arms all the time. I consistently have pain in my neck, my mid-neck, my lower neck, especially right here. I have a bone that can pop up. My physical therapist just today said that she thinks it's a rib, a higher rib. It's interconnected in there, and I'm like, you see, I'm always hearing something different. Somebody that actually feels me and is feeling the popping coming on. Form and function, right? Let's talk about form and function in biology. My anatomy is totally different from both sides. I can pop something out right here that I can't pop out here. And right where I can pop it out is where a lot of pain is at, for 30 years. And I don't take narcotics or anything like that. I try to keep it as organic as I can. Exercise, gardening, which we'll get into, and but that's how I found out. Just recently found out, and I thought, you know what? Let's do a gardening with Klepophile syndrome YouTube and bring awareness, help bring awareness, and do something because there's not a whole lot of help out there for us. I mean, I hear some doctors in Cleveland that are doing maybe a neurologist on YouTube that has been talking about it a lot. Um, a few warriors that are bringing awareness, but outside of that, man, there's not a whole lot of help. Not a whole lot of help, and it's like I keep telling everybody, it just not only does it suck having the disease, but it sucks advocating for yourself all the time with medical. It just does. And I'm not like someone who likes to argue with anybody. I try to keep my communication polite and descriptive and um, as nice as I can, as approachable as I can, make it a comfortable experience, try to build a good team. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about my garden in the next video.